Welcome to the world of Aldara. Now, Aldara is a country set in the planet of Sordane, and Aldara is quite special. Centuries and centuries ago, a cataclysmic convergence storm came around and just ravaged the whole country. Nothing could grow, people couldn't live there. But time has now passed, and all these factions, all these greedy factions around the world are starting to realize they can go back into Aldara now. That contamination's starting to lift, and we can start mining and getting all of this great crystal out of the country. Now, this crystal is called sordalite, and it's very much sought after by all of these factions. So I'm going to be playing in this run through with two different factions, and we're going to be going into Aldara. We're going to be mining all this beautiful crystal, and we're going to see who's going to be the winner, which faction's going to come out on top in this race to get back to Aldara. For now, let's just send all of our dudes over. Oh, look at that. 5 of them squeezing in there. And they've gone, this poor engineer is absolutely pooping his pants right now. He's going, what is going on here? Welcome to two-player Aldara, and this is the world we have in front of us here. A whole bunch of hexes. Main ones to look out for here are some mines. We have the copper mine, silver mine, and gold mine. They'll help us get some coins. Then we also have the crystal areas here, the crystal hexes. They're also going to keep growing us that sordalite, very important sordalite. Going to help us get some better ships along the way, and we could also trade that in for victory points as well. Now you're going to notice here there's actually 3 colors on here. I said I'm playing 2 players. We have the Odarian Empire as the yellow, we have the Aradan Syndicate as red, but we also have a neutral party here, which is the brown ones, which is going to be the mining core, and that's just one of the changes in the 2-player variant. Now, let's just get into what are we starting off with? We're going to start off with the expansion phase. And the expansion phase is us moving out, trying to explore, but also we're going to get into a fair bit of combat. Red player is currently the first player. Let's get started. First thing we're going to do is put out one of our player tokens here, and this actually allows us to move all of our different airships around. Now, we've got 2 different options. I could actually put my token here, and this means I want to move my airships to this hex. Or I could also put my token here, which means I want to move all the airships from that hex outward. So 2 different ways you can move. I think for now, what we want to do is maybe we just want to get this crystal. Maybe that's an area we want to get hold of eventually. So I'm going to put my token there. I'm just going to move my 2 markers out there. I have me a frigate here, and we have an engineer. Now there's different types, there's a whole bunch of different minis over here. We've got cruisers, dreadnoughts, got different outposts there. We have engineers, a lot of cool ships, and we'll explain all of the combat, and we'll explain the ships in more detail because each ship has its own special ability. Now we've done the move there, so that's the first start. Now there's no combat because there's no other people there, but what we can do is we can explore. So we'll put our little explore marker out here. Every time we put this out, this means that the hex has now been explored, so no one else can explore it. Now we get an exploration card out here, and this says smoke screen. Play at the start of a combat to retreat immediately. This counts as a standard retreat. That's one thing we can do in combat. If we're going to lose, we could easily just go, you know what, let's retreat and bring out like whatever we can back to try and save them. Now this is also a hold card, which means if you were playing against another player, you wouldn't show them this card. This would all be secret. All you got to do to tell them is it's a hold card and you'll be achieving it later on. So let's just put that over there. We know I've got the smoke screen if we need it. We've now done red's turn. Let's go over to yellow and yellow. The Odarian Empire. Now, each one of these has asymmetric abilities. Odarian Empire, their special ability is they're pretty much a floating civilization. These outposts here, they're normally locked into the hexes, but the Odarian Empire has the ability to actually move these around, which is pretty cool stuff. Okay, for now, what I'm thinking about is I have 3 of my things here, 2 frigates, and we have 1 engineer. Maybe I might want to go and attack maybe this outpost out here. That could be an option. Or why don't we try going over here and see if we can take on this mining core. So I'm going to move everything over to here. Let's give this a try. So now we're in combat. And the way combat works is we've got 2 different things that happen. We have light versus light, so light airships versus light airships, and we always do that first. Then from there we do heavy versus heavy. Now it gets a little bit complicated, so let's go through this one step at a time. Firstly, let's see what we've got here. We're the attacker, yellow's the attacker, we have 2 frigates and 1 engineer. Now the engineer is going to be heavy, the frigates are going to be light. And we're taking on a cruiser is going to be heavy. So normally you would have light versus light. Because the enemy doesn't have any light ships, we just go to the next phase. And I'm basically holding my light ships over to the heavy phase. So we're now heavy versus heavy, but I've added 2 light ships to my heavy approach, if that makes sense. Okay, now the 2 frigates. The frigates are going to need, let's have a look here. The frigate's going to need green dice. They get 1 green dice each. And the engineer is also going to have a green dice. So I've got 3 dice versus the cruiser, which has 1 blue dice. Now the attacker goes first. I'm going to roll the dice there. And what have we got? Let's see. We've got a 0, 0, and we've got an exploding 1. So that means we're on 1 currently. And whenever you have an exploding symbol, it means you get to roll it again. So we got 1 plus 1. So we've got 2 on our attack there. Now the cruiser has a shield of 3. So unfortunately, we're not going to do any damage to it. But let's see if the cruiser is going to do some damage back to us. I'm going to roll that, and they've got a damage of 3, which is not amazing. So I firstly attacked them, and unfortunately, again, didn't have enough to get through the shields, but they're going to attack back with 3. That means, well, let's take out 1 frigate, which has a shield of 1, and we're going to take out the engineer, which has a shield of 2. Now, unfortunately, they go back to me, but every time I lose a ship in combat, I'm going to get some coins. So at least I get 2 coins from it, but not really what I wanted from this. Now, this isn't over yet. I've got now a chance I can retreat or we can fight on. And I think at this stage, I don't think there's much point in fighting on. I'm definitely going to try and retreat. And let's go over to here. Oh, not amazing. Never mind. Well, that stays there. Let's move on to red's second turn. Now, we've got some frigates and an engineer over here. And maybe, look, maybe they're feeling game and maybe they want to take on. Let's go over here. I think, look, maybe in a real game, I wouldn't go this adventurous, but for now I will. So the other thing to note is the light ships can travel up to 3 hexes, whereas the heavy ships can travel up to 2 hexes. And I'm just moving all of them to there. That's just 2 hexes along. And let's go into another combat. Let's see how this works now. So we have 2 frigates and an engineer, which we know is going to be 3 green dice. Then we're taking on the yellow, and the yellow is going to have 1 frigate, which will be a green, 1 engineer, which will be a green, and it's also got 1 outpost, which will be a pink. So it's going to be 3 green versus 2 green and a pink. So the attacker has the 3 green. Let's start off with that. And what do we got? 1, 1, 1. So 3. Oh, that's not good. Well, let's go. The yellow is defending though. Aldarra Empire is not going to go down without a fight. Let's see what they've got. And they've got 0, 0, 0. They are going down without a fight. That is horrendous. Okay. Red, which is the Aradan Syndicate, have hit with 3. So 3 is going to be, let's go with 1 there and 2 for the engineer. Now, the Aradan Syndicate, they're a mysterious mob, and one of their cool abilities is whenever they defeat a ship, they put them into their jail, and it costs you 4 to get them out of jail. So they've gone into the Aradan Syndicate's jail there. Remember, we get 2 coins for being defeated. It's the only thing the Aldaran Empire is good at is collecting coins from losing their ships. But the fight's not over. Now, I can't retreat. Well, I actually could retreat an outpost because I'm the Aldaran Empire. Maybe I should do that. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I can do that right there. Let's move that over there. And look, Aradan Syndicate has absolutely smashed us there. So they're really happy. And because they won a battle, they're also going to take a victory point there. So they get a victory point every time they win combat. It's going to be one of the ways we're going to get victory points is through combat. We're also going to get these through these secondary objective cards. Now, I've got 2 already here. I've got here 4 yellow. I've got the unfavorable odds, which is start of combat with at least 3 units fewer than the defender. And I've also got this one here, which is move at least 3 engineers into a territory containing an opponent's building. Maybe. We'll see how we go. So I can collect victory points that way. Plus also, we'll see. There may be some other ways I can get some cheeky victory points as well. That is the end of red's second turn. Let's move over to yellow. And yellow doesn't have much left. We've got a frigate left, and that's all we have. Poor old yellow. I think for now, they're just in a real world of hurt right now. I think for now, I think the yellow is just going to stay where it is. I'm worried if I try and move the yellow out, I'm probably going to get attacked anyway. Oh, this is a disaster. What do I do with the frigate? Maybe I just run and hide. Let's just do that. Let's run and hide. 1, let's go. We'll start from where was I? 1, 2, 3, and hopefully I can't get attacked from over there. Now back to red. Well, we might as well explore. That's the one thing we forgot. Red should have explored up here. So that was a bit silly of them. Big goose. the Aradan Syndicate forgetting to explore. That's a rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. We're going to explore here, and let's see. Maybe we can get something good from this. Recycled resources. Sacrifice 2 frigates from any combination. Well, I don't have to keep reading. I don't have 2 frigates. So that is useless to me. So useless exploring, and I'm just hiding here in the outskirts like a little chicken ship. Little chicken ship. Okay, Red's last turn. Aradan, what are we going to do? Well, we got lots of options, but one option I think about right now is we're getting towards the pointy end here, and we want to make sure we have enough to be able to try and get some extra coins next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to go with, let's just move this frigate there. Done. So that's the end of Red's turn. Well, we've got exploration again. Make sure we do that. Again, don't be like me. Always explore. And what do we got? Secret map. Draw 2 secondary objective cards. Choose one and discard the other. Okay, let's do that now. What do we got? The recycled resources again, which is sacrifice 2 frigates or immediately build a free outpost in this territory. I'm not going to be silly. That's too good to turn down. Let's put an outpost there. Done, done, done. Exploring, so good. Don't forget to do it. Now, finally, Yellow's turn, and Yellow's just like, I don't even know what to do anymore. This just seems silly. Let's just get something out of this, and let's just go here. It's an awful move, terrible choices, but we can at least explore it. Let's go with exploration. Emergency excavation. Play anytime. So this is going to be a hold card. Immediately mine 1 territory that you control for its coins and crystals. That's going to be good to have. I'm going to hold on to that. I'm not going to use it right away, but that's going to be good to have in the future. Now, everyone has done their turn. We've done the expansion phase. Well, let's move to the management phase. And first thing we want to do is we're going to mine. Now, I put 10 coins on here to remind me that your home territory earns you 10 coins. So let's break down who's the first player. Red. So Red's going to be the first player. So they're going to get 10 coins there. They own here the gold. So the gold mine gets you 3 coins. Then they've got a copper mine, which gets you 1 coin. And they've got here another gold. So we got 10, 13, 16, 17, and another 3 over here, 20. That is outstanding. And on top of that, they also get a crystal. That is an outstanding turn, Red, and that's how you do it. The Aradan Syndicate not mucking around here, whereas poor old Aldarian Empire, I don't even know if you can call them an empire. They're more of just like a one-man band right now. Anyway, what they've got is 10. They get the copper mine here, 11, and that's it. That's all they get. That's 11. I almost feel bad for them now. And that is the end of the mine phase. Now we've got a choice. We can buy some victory points. So to win the game, we need to get to 20 victory points. Right now, Red's on 1, Yellow's on none. But remember, we can get victory points from combat. We can get victory points here from these secondary objective titles, but we can also purchase victory points. Now, to purchase them, coins will be 10 coins for 1 victory point or 20 coins for 3 victory points. Or we could sell our crystals. 3 crystals for 1 victory point, 5 crystals for 3 victory points. For now, I don't think anyone's going to do that because we want that money to actually purchase some ships soon. Next step, we check to see if the win condition, as in, has anyone reached 20? No, they have not, so we crack on. Now we draw secondary objectives. And this is where both of these again have some asymmetric abilities. The Aradan Syndicate actually gets an advantage where it gets to draw 2 secondary objective cards, gets look at them, keeps 1, gets rid of the other. So what have we got here? 2 secondary objectives. Naval diversity, dominate the supply. I reckon dominate the supply looks pretty good to me. Let's get rid of the other one. And poor old Aldarian, they just get the 1 here, and it's going to be defensive control. Have all 3 of your fortresses on the map, and the fortresses are these big bad boys right here. That is the end of the secondary objectives. We next go down to discoveries, and that's going to be these little pink cards right here. And again, just like the Aradan Syndicate had an advantage with the secondary objectives, well, the Aldarian Empire has an advantage with the discovery cards. So what we do is we draw 1 more card than the amount of players we got. So we've got 2 players, so we draw 3 cards. Now the first player gets to pick whichever card they want. Then from there, the Aldarian Empire is going to get 2 cards. So the remaining 2 cards. So let's have a look. we have sword of light artillery, excavation drills, and improved machinery. During the mine step, your outposts produce 1 coin and your fortresses produce 2. Sure, let's go with that one. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention is we also started with 1 as well. Aridin started off with the improved thrusters, which actually allows us, after combat, we can then move our troops on. I should have been doing that. That would have been silly if I didn't. And then Warping Station started the expansion phase. You may move any number of your airships from your stronghold, which is your original starting point, to any other building you control, which currently is only this outpost here. So they're my advantages I have. And right now, these 2 go to here, and we are good to go for the next bit. Oh, except building. We haven't done that. Building. So I've got here 20 coins for the Aridin. So what should I buy? Let's go with, I reckon some of these destroyers here, they're 4 each. So let's buy 2 of them. That's 8. And let's also buy a couple of frigates there. There's 2 frigates. And maybe let's build an engineer, I reckon. Let's get another 2 engineers. And let's do them there. I reckon that's not bad. Let's go with that. So what was that? 12. So I get 8 back in return. Now these are upgraded metal coins. They are so awesome. I absolutely love metal coins. Whenever anyone does that, I get really excited over the metal coins. Actually, just having a look at the table presence, this game is one of the most beautiful games on the table that I've seen for a long time. And I don't normally like mini games, but I'm really loving the look of this one. So Aridin's done theirs. Odarian, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to need something. They're going to need a miracle, basically, from here. They got 15. So I think for now, they're definitely going to need 2 engineers. Let's give them 2 engineers for 2 buckaroos. Then we're going to get some frigates. So frigates, what are they? 2 each. So let's get 6 of them. 3 of them for 6. And what's that now? That's 10. That's 8. Now let's get 1 more. That will give me an even 10. And what else should we do? I think for now... Well, actually, I think we're in a bit of a pickle here. So let's go hard here. Let's go another 4. And that 4 will get me a destroyer. Where's our destroyer here? There we go. So I've now got max chickens on my stronghold here. You can only have up to 5 in your color on any hex. So we've got maxed out here, but we need to shift the battle right now because the battle is definitely against the Aldaran Empire. They are in a lot of trouble. Okay, bring all of our tokens back and we're ready to crack on with the next round. So hopefully you're getting how the game plays. Like this is a 4X game. Like explore, exterminate, exercise, extreme sports. I can't actually remember what the other 4Xs are, but you know 4X stuff. Okay, so we've got them back. Yellow comes back and we are good to go. Now, the last player on here, which is yellow, he's got no victory points, gets to choose turn order, and they're going to say, stuff you, red. I am going first this time, and yellow's going first. So let's go. Let's start making some waves here. I think the first thing we're going to do is we're not going to muck around. We want to win here. We want an absolute win. Let's get on the board, and let's send, I reckon, for now, let's just send all of our dudes over. Oh, look at that. 5 of them squeezing in there. And they've gone, this poor engineer is absolutely pooping his pants right now. He's going, what is going on here? Anyway, it's going to be all 5 of them. So what have we got? 4 the destroyer, 1 pink, and it's going to be 4 green. So let's get all these dice out. 4 green, what do we got? 3, 4, and 1 pink versus what is it? 1 green. It's an unfair fight, but they're the fights I love. I love unfair fights. Yellow's the attacker. They go first, and they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 versus the 1 green, and we'll just roll this one over here. Oops. Ugh. Oh, they got a 1. That's an exploding 1. It means I get to roll again, so they're on 1, 2. So 2 versus that. Well, look, you dead. You dead ski. You gone. Get a buckaroo for that. But remember, it did 2 damage on the way back. So 2 damage is actually going to be 2 frigates, or we can get rid of that. Let's get rid of 2 frigates. Put them in there. Yellow's going to get 2 coins. So even when it wins, it's still kind of a bit of a depressing win. Anyway, we're done. Sad thing is we can't explore because it's already explored. So that is the end of Yellow's turn. Red's turn now. So many ships out here. Let's start moving them around. Let's go with, for now, I think it's just a matter of just moving stuff, moving as much stuff as I can. Let's go here. So what I can do, remember light air ships can travel up to 3. So I've got 2 lights here, 1, 2, 3. This one can go 1, 2, and let's move an engineer as well, 1, 2. So we've now got 4 ships. So remember, there's 2 ways you can move. You can either put your token at the hex you want everyone to move to, or you can start your token on a hex and everyone can move out of that hex. So that's 2 ways you can move. Okay, we've got a battle here. So we've got 1, 2, 3. So we're going to have 3 green plus the engineer, which is another green, 4 green, versus the 2 green. Light on light battle. Here we go. Red as the attacker. Oh, did I get a victory point for winning before? I did not. There we go. Make sure I get a victory point for that. We have 2 versus, let's roll 2 back. 2's not amazing. 2 versus 1. Okay, so what have we got here now? Frigates only have a shield of 1. So 2 gets rid of both of them. They're both gone, but before they died, they shot 1 back and we'll get rid of a frigate there. Remember, they get a coin and they won a battle. So if they win a battle, they get a victory point. And also on top of that, we can also explore. Good turn for the Odarians. Oh, the Aridans. Here we go. Exploration time. Local mapping. Draw 2 explore cards. Choose 1. Resolve. Okay, we can do that again. Ooh, Machines of Discovery and Fleet Crusher. Fleet Crusher. Choose to roll a blue die or discard this card with no effect. If you roll, assign that much damage to units adjacent. Well, no units adjacent, so that's useless. Machines of Discovery, roll a pink die, get a free frigate in its territory for every hit rolled. Hell yes, let's do that. Come on, big numbers. 2 frigates. That is the best possible outcome that we could have asked for. And let's put the frigates over here. Remember, maximum 5 in a hex, so we absolutely nailed that one. And Aridon is having a sensational game right now. Okay, they've moved on over to yellow, and let's go next move. Oh, yellow's feeling a bit cocky now after that last win. They finally got a win on the board, and they're like, let's go on against this guy here. Okay, so we have 2 greens, plus also we have a pink. 2 greens and a pink versus the 1 blue for the cruiser. Now remember, light versus light, heavy versus heavy. Because there is no light, it's basically everyone in the heavy race. Here we go first. So yellow as the attackers. We want a good roll. We need a good roll. They need some luck here. 1 plus an exploding 1. Let's re-roll that. So they're on 2 plus another 1. They're on 3, which is exactly what they need to defeat the cruiser. But before that cruiser dies, it did how much damage back? It did 2 damage back. I don't know if that was a decent roll. That was a crap roll. But anyway, 2 damage back. And let's say they went and took this one out, which is sad. The destroyer had a good life, had a great life. Get a coin for a loss. Everyone's a winner, but we got the win there. We got the win we wanted, which means we go up a victory point and we can also go exploring. See, yellow's fighting back slowly, very slowly. So let's move these out of the road. Oh, Fleet Crusher again. Maybe I didn't shuffle good enough here. Fleet Crusher again. Well, I could do damage here. Well, let's do that. Choose a roll a blue die or discard this card with no effect. If you roll, assign that much damage to any units in adjacent territory. So we get units there. Let's see if we can get some damage here. 1 damage, which means one of those frigates is gone, which is going to make life a bit easier for me going forward. Oh, it's a schmozzle. Absolute schmozzle. Here we go. Okay, that's all finished now. Let's move on to red. And red's just like, yep, we're in an absolute great mood right now. Let's move out these bad boys here. And let's just go with 1, 2. And I'm prepping for a future round. Now, that's right, I never explored on this one. So let's go exploring. Here we go. Smoke screen. Play at the start of combat. So this is a hold card to retreat immediately. So we've got a smoke screen over here. Actually, we've already got a smoke screen. Can I have 2 smoke screens? I don't know. I don't want to say smoke screen. Let's just do it again. Who cares? that's okay. Let's go with this one. Dilapidated machinery. Choose to roll a pink die or disregard. If you miss, destroy all units in this territory, otherwise get a free destroyer for every hit rolled. Well, let me read that again. Choose to roll a pink die. Okay, if you miss, destroy all... Oh, God. So, no, that's too risky. If I destroy all those units, like, I could get... Oh, no, nah. Too... Like, sometimes I want to risk it, but that's too much. Yellow, where are we going? Well, yellow's like, nah, I don't want to attack there. But I could go over here. Let's see if we can win this battle. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to move my 2 here. And I'm going to move the frigate here. So we've got 2 engineers and a frigate versus their 2 frigates. So that is going to be 3 dice versus 2 dice. Let's crack on. Let's try and get those victory points through combat here. 1, 2, and a 3B. Roll it again. So we're on 3, 4. That's great. That's perfect. We love all that. And now they're going to roll back with 2. How much damage are they going to do back? Absolutely none. Brilliant work. And they're both destroyed. We get a victory point. Life is grand. Yellow's a lot happier than what they were early on. That's great. Let's explore. Remember your 4 X's. Machines of War. Roll a pink die. If you roll a hit, gain a free destroyer. Hell yeah. Let's get that free destroyer, baby. Woo! 1 free destroyer. Oh, there we go. And honestly, life, it's amazing what a round will do. Life is feeling a lot better. So yellow's done. Red's on their last turn. And I think for now, well, red... Oh, what was red going to do? I think we wanted to... Look, let's just go all guns are blazing here. This is it. This is like the epic finale. Let's smash this out. What do we got? God, I can't even fit them all in. So and it's at this time Murphy's Law kicks in. Battery dies. So I'm just going to recreate where I was at and just crack on for the final little bit. So let's get into here. We were at the battle, the final battle. And obviously it's not the final battle, but for this video, it's the final battle. This is it. So what we have is we have red. We have the Aradan Syndicate taking on the Odarian Empire. Now, the Odarian Empire really just has struggled throughout this video. Their luck has not been with them. I feel really bad for them right now. They're just put in a bit of a pitiful effort this round, and Aradan has been kicking their butt. But let's see what will happen in the final countdown. So let's firstly break down this combat. It's a good way to just break it down. Firstly, let's remove any heavy units. And right now, the only heavy units we have here is that one there, and that one there. So all of the engineers are now out. So the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to do a light on light battle. So red has 1 destroyer, which is going to be your pink card, your pink dice. Next, they have 2 frigates, which would be 2 green dice. And let's roll that first. Here we go. 2. Well, not the greatest, but not the worst. And taking on yellow, who has pretty much exactly the same. 1 destroyer, 2 frigates, 2 versus 1. And again, even now, yellow just cannot take a break. Okay, 2 versus 1. So red's attacked first. They're going to take off 2, and let's say they get rid of this big guy here. So we do that. Then yellow would get a coin for that. But for now, let's crack on. There was 1 went backwards, and we'll get rid of the frigate there. That is done. Now let's do the heavies. Now the heavies are going to be 2 green versus 1 green. So let's do that first. So the 2 red engineers, and they got a 0. And the 1 engineer coming back, they got a 1 back, and why not? They'll just destroy that frigate there. Okay, so here we're at now. We're at a bit of a stalemate. So what's happened is we've had our heavy, we've had our light, we've gone through it all, and there's no winner yet. What do? Well, we crack on, but we escalate it. Well, we actually have a choice to retreat here, but no, I'm not going to retreat. I don't think I've ever retreated once. Actually, that's a lie. I'm a big coward. I probably would have retreated heaps of times if I was playing this for real, but we're not going to do that in this video. So now we're going to escalate. Escalating is using the green die. So let's roll that for starters, and that was a 0. Well, let's just pretend, let's say it was a 1. Okay, so what would happen with the escalation? We would then add 1 to every roll going forward. So basically, as time goes by, we're just going to keep upping the numbers until we get a victor here. So remember, it's +1. Okay, so we've got again, lights versus heavies. Let's go again. So 2 green versus 1 pink. And let's do that. So red's first, so they're going to roll their pink. Remember, it's +1. 1 + 1 is 2 damage. So that's good. Those 2 frigates are dead. But let's see if the frigates can do some damage back. +1 again, and they're 1 + 1 equals that. And destroyer has a shield of 2. So again, both of them, great. They've evened themselves out. They would all get coins for being losers. And that is the end of that. Now we're up to heavy versus heavy engineers. 2 greens versus 1 green. Remember, we have a +1 again. We have 1. So this is that exploding 1. So we got 1. Roll again. We have 0. So they've got a 1. So red didn't do enough damage to the engineer. Engineer has a shield of 2. Actually, it was 1. It was 1 plus the 1 from the escalation dice, of course. So it does do a damage. So that's good. It actually would be dead. That's fine. Let's just see on its way out. 1 + 1 equals 2, and that engineer's also dead. And then finally, red wins it, and there we go. Oh, Aldara, 4x game. This is not my standard. This is not my standard thing at all. But thoroughly enjoyed it. This is good. Definitely missed a few things. I've got to use all these discovery cards, and again, while you're doing a playthrough, you're trying to rush through it. So if I was just doing this by myself and just concentrating on one actual character, one faction, I would have smashed that. But anyway, these videos are good enough to give you that guide, give you the vibes on what this game is. And there's so much gaming. Now there's an expansion as well with this game going up to 6 players. Look, if you want to see more about this game and you want to see a review, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to do a review on it. There's just so much game here. So there we go. That's enough waffling for now. That is Aldara. That is, well, pretty much 2 rounds there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Love to know your thoughts on this game because I'm still absolutely buzzing from this. I've been loving it. I've been playing for the last week now and thoroughly enjoying it. So there we go. That's all I have. I'm Hogs. This is the Bangers Project. That is Aldara with the world's biggest box. That is Aldara. Laters.